This video we talk about some of the tackle prep I'm doing, getting ready for the KBF National Championship in Shreveport, Louisiana. Hey, welcome back. And for those of you new to the channel, welcome. I've been gone for work for a while and came back just in time for the KBF National Championship I qualified for earlier last year. So, doing all my packing today. It's a Thursday, a week before the tournament starts. Getting in the truck and driving out tomorrow morning, driving from Las Vegas to Louisiana straight through. So that'll give me Saturday or Sunday through Wednesday to do some practice and some pre-fishing and kind of explore the area. I've never fished there before. So as a result, I don't necessarily know what to expect. I know southern waters can be rather shallow, lots of cypress, docks, but I'm expecting stain and dark water. But on the whole, I really don't know what to expect. So what am I bringing? Yeah, pretty much everything. So that'll be the first video going through some of the rods and reels that I'm bringing with me, and there'll be probably 3 videos just talking about rods and reels. I'm bringing, like I said, I'm bringing the kitchen sink, and I'll do another video talking about kind of some tackle, some basic tackle that I'm bringing and how I've got it organized. But those of you that have been with the channel for a while, you know that I've been pretty much a diehard Daiwa reel and Phoenix rod person. Started off with some of the Maxim rods, and then moved up into the M1s, and then branched out into the feathers when they came out. And I really, really love those rods. Still have all of them. Still use a couple of them a lot, as you'll see in some of the other videos. But I wanted to make another step up into a little bit more lighter, more sensitive rods, something kind of beyond what Phoenix had to offer without going up all the way into the K2, which is about a $550 rod. So my buddy Disco, you've seen him in a couple of my videos, fished with a guide in South Carolina named Brett Mitchell. And Brett is a pro staffer for ALX rods, which are made in Charleston, South Carolina. And he got me turned on to ALX rods. And he picked up a cranking rod for me, and I checked out some of his rods when I was fishing with him last year, and really liked what I saw. So I kind of went full on the ALX rods. All the rods you see behind me right now are all ALX rods from two of their different series. And let's look what they got to offer. So first up, we got the ALX Zolo series. These are kind of like their kind of higher end workhorse rods. I've got 4 rods behind me from the Zolo series. This one is the Rosa. It's a 6'9" medium fast action, and this basically is my dedicated spinnerbait rod. I've got a Metanium, one of the new Metanium DCs on it, and it's spooled up with just some 15-pound copolymer. So that will be my dedicated spinnerbait rod for the National Championship. This will be on the boat at all times. All right, next up, also 6'9". So notice I've got a couple shorter rods. You'll notice I've got some shorter rods in this collection here. This is a rod called the Skipper, and this rod, as the name implies, is specifically designed and built for skipping docks and throwing into tight cover. So it's a 6'9" medium heavy plus. They call it a 4.5 power. If you look at their description, if you do some research and look at their description of this rod, it's basically this portion of the rod right here is a heavy power rod. The tip is medium heavy, so it's got a nice soft, just a relatively soft tip to it, but a whole lot of backbone. Great for driving home a hook and then pulling stuff out of heavy cover. I've got a Shimano Scorpion DC. That's a brand new reel. I haven't even gotten a chance to try it out yet. And it's spooled with 40-pound braid. Ordered this one from Japan along with another reel you'll see in another video. But this is it's similar to the Corrado DC, but this has the more advanced braking system on it, and it actually is cheaper coming from Japan than buying the Corrado DC in the U.S., and it's available, whereas the Corrado DC is on back order just about everywhere. So, my skipping rod. All right, next up, also in the Zolo series, we got the Toad Face. So this is kind of the rod that made ALX rods. This was the first one I tried out from them, and this is the one that kind of got the bug in me. Not this one, but the other one behind me. So, as the name implies, this is a frog rod or a topwater toad rod. It's made for driving home big heavy hooks, fishing in heavy cover. It's also like the Skipper. It's a medium heavy plus, but it's a 7'3". Excuse me, a 7'2". It's a little bit longer rod, long cast, good powerful hook sets. I fished this a little bit, the other one a little bit in the Delta, throwing a frog last year, and this thing will fling a frog a country mile, and I've never felt underpowered with this rod. So this is spooled with 65-pound Suffix 832. Got a Corrado DC on it as well, and this one in particular is my primary frog rod for the NC. All right, another toad face, and as you can see, the handle's filthy. I've had this one for a little while. This is my first ALX rod, and I really, really like it. This one I've actually got set up for throwing a jig. So your normal frog rod's typically fairly heavy and not particularly sensitive. It's built just for power. Well, this rod is remarkably light for as powerful as it is, and as such, it makes a fantastic jig rod. So this will be my backup jig rod for the NC. It's 40-pound braid on this, and that's where I got a jig tied on. So another toad face. All right, so now we're going to step up a level. Like I said, the toad face is their kind of workhorse rod. This is the Enox. This is their premium rod. So this is the Enox Magma. It's a 6'7" medium power, fast action. I've got a Dawa Zillion on it, and this is right now set up to throw a weightless Senko. So I will probably reconfigure this to throw a wacky rigged Senko instead of a Texas rigged Senko once I get to the NC. But 30-pound braid, it's 30 or 40-pound braid to a leader, and that is the Enox Magma, and so that'll be my wacky Senko rod for a bait caster for the NC. All right, next up, we've got the Enox Cirrus. So this is a 6'9" medium heavy. I've got a Metanium DC on it, and spooled with 30-pound braid. This is my close quarters jig rod, pitching, skipping, whatever I need to do in tight cover with a jig. So again, a lot of these are new. I haven't had a chance to use them yet. I'm really, really excited about getting them out on the water, though. Next, we got a rod that I do have some time on, although with a different reel on it. This is the Enox Fractus, and this was the first of the Enox series that I picked up and absolutely fell in love with the series. That's why I own just about every rod they make in that series now. Super, super lightweight. This is a 7'1" medium power fast action. This is my Senko, or one of my Senko and light Texas rig rods. 30-pound braid, Dawa Zillion, and yeah, I absolutely love this rod for throwing a light Texas rig or a weightless Senko. So. All right, next up, my primary jig rod. I've actually got it set up right now for with a Tokyo rig on it, just a basic Tokyo rig. But this is the Enox Arcus. So this is a 7'2" medium heavy fast action. Again, a Metanium DC on it, and this one also has a 30-pound braid to a leader. This will be my primary jig pitching rod for the NC. And then last of my Enox rods, my ALX rods, this is the Enox Gravity. This is a 7'5" heavy power. I've got a jig on it right now. But for the most part, this is actually going to be set up for punching or heavy cover pitching with a heavy-weighted Texas rig. It's got a Shimano Bantam on it, and this is 50-pound braid. I've got a leader on it now. Most likely, it'll just be straight braid for the NC. So, though that is my collection of ALX rods going into the NC. Those are coming with me. If you're curious about the ALX rods, you can check them out at alxrods.com. I'm in no way, shape, or form affiliated with them. I started using them. I fell in love with them. And as you can see, I invested in them. They're not a sponsor. I paid full price for these. Like I said, check them out, alxrods.com. And stay tuned for the next video. We'll be going over my spinning rods and my cranking setups for the NC. Until next time, cheers and tight lines.